Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, 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 yeah.
In this episode, we have the Marcus Cummings interview. Marcus and Marcus shoot content together. They hit the gym together, so may as well get both of them on here. First off, you guys want to do introductions for yourselves?
I'm here again with Nick. This is Marcus Cummings. You know, I'm a personal trainer. I've been in the fitness industry probably about 2.5 years now. I just recently got certified as a personal trainer, so that is my job. And, you know, I like recording content. I'm a influencer, so to speak. I like to promote fitness and lifestyle, just general wellness.
Marcus here. I'm just a person who likes to be the one that's there for others when no one is there. I'm the one that could be business partner, friend, boyfriend. Let me know.
How did you get started? Like, what got you pushed wanting to get into the content industry, and then let alone base your content around fitness?
I've been going to the gym for a while. You know, seeing other people make content and just seeing how easy it was to just set up the tripod and start filming. I mean, I'm already going to the gym for free, so why not, you know, start promoting it and kind of make it my job. It kind of came like naturally to me. And throughout high school, I was always taking like photography and video classes. So it kind of, you know, I kind of picked up pretty quick.
So getting into this industry, did you go into it looking to use your content as a way to promote your personal training, or were you trying to get into the actual like content industry of focusing and expanding in the content world?
So originally, you know, seeing how easy it was to pick up the cam and, you know, really get deep into content creation, I never really put thought into being a personal trainer. I had a group of friends around me. They were like, okay, you're pretty knowledgeable in fitness, and you have, you know, an assertive voice, so I feel like people actually listen to you. Like, why don't you look into being a personal trainer and a nutrition coach? So, you know, after having those words put in my head, you know, I sat back and really thought about it, and that's, you know, that's another source of revenue right there. And it's something that I enjoy and love doing.
Because you're already doing stuff, so if you record it and just record the process about it, you can actually eventually turn it into a revenue, like you said. And with a lot of things like podcasts or whatever, you can, like we already talked about, you can clip down into short term. Like everything's like a chain reaction. If you do something, you open up doors to other things.
Yeah, it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. I'm doing every little bit of everything. They're all supporting each other. So it's definitely a blessing where I'm at and where I'm pursuing to be at. Just, you know, pray for success for sure.
And what stage of your fitness journey, or maybe it was after you already started making content, did you guys start linking up and start working together?
So it was really, I started working out with my brother, and then this was before I started working out with him, because in a way, what he was doing, I was like, man.
They were scared of that real work. That's what it was. They were scared.
Yeah, I wasn't there yet, so like I had to work myself up. I was skinny, I was little. Or I feel like if I were to work with him, it would only hold him back. In my head, like I'm not there yet. I'm not strong enough, or I don't know much. Yeah, I started working out, and then after a couple months of consistent trying, working hard, and I was like, all right. He told us, he was like, y'all come by the gym, just get a little workout in, and we came by. And really ever since, I got a gym membership there. Just been trying to stay consistent, and now I know a lot more because of him. Obviously, the growth, the progress that I have now from last year is just, I don't know where I'd be without him in a way.
How I see it, because whenever I first asked them, I kind of saw that they wanted to get better, and that's the only type of mindset I can really be around. It's not even as far as like who's stronger or who's better or who can do the most reps, this and that. It's really the drive that you have. And, you know, I admired at such a young age that they were willing to put in the work to, you know, better themselves. So it was definitely good company. You know, I've grown with them as well, so we kind of both fed off each other.
Yeah. Would you say that, like, now that you got introduced to him and started working out with him, did you feel like that motivation to go to the gym? Did you kind of feel like the system, like, kind of was built into you? Like, right now, say if, like, he stopped working out, would you keep going? Like, are you motivated to better yourself?
Oh yeah, for sure. There's no ceiling. There's no cap on how much you can progress or how big you could get. Yeah, you're right. It is built into me now, where it's like a system where I feel like if I don't go to the gym, I'm like, something just feels off. Like it feels off. Like it feels like or I might have a bad day if I don't go to the gym, because usually when when I like, get off work, that's I look forward to that in my day, and so I look forward to going to the gym. I look forward to becoming better than yesterday.
I know we've talked about it off camera about business and stuff you want to move towards together on partner wise. You guys want to share a little bit about that?
Yeah, so recently me and Marcus have been very passionate about our faith, and we have like a lot of really good deep conversations just about life in general. It's not always centered around our faith. We have a lot of deep conversations, and I feel like every conversation that we have, we learn something new about each other. So it's definitely something that can possibly be shared to other people with the same mindset or the same type of problems that we go through. Marcus came up with the idea of possibly, starting our own platform, starting our own podcast. That's something that, is still in the works. And this is definitely a great experience to, kind of get a feel of everything behind setting up a podcast, doing it, and, just the process.
Yeah.
Just kind of trying to fall in love with the process.
One thing I've learned so far in the podcast industry, it's like business. You have to be really good at problem solving because everything's going to go wrong that can go wrong.
Yeah.
And it's very stressful, but honestly, the best advice I can give you is be overly organized.
Yeah, I was just telling Marcus that. I was like, maybe we can just go in there and just like just sit down and just start talking. But then he was like, let's write out some topics. Let's get a feel for it first. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like in the beginning, we'll definitely be a little more structured. And then once we, start feeling the flow.
Once that motion is there, it's kind of comes off a little easier. I mean, still already now, like from when I first started trying to get this podcast stuff, me and Jasper, we used to think that we could just like sit in front of these cameras and lights we would do it and we would just get lost in our own conversation. We'd be like, no one wants to listen to that, bro. Stop. With this platform that you guys want to start working on and building together, say if you had a big enough platform to support you on doing anything you guys want it to do, what would you guys do? Like, what's your game plan once you have the audience and the viewers?
I would say is getting into other things, like creating other like videos, or whether if it's collabing with other people, getting to dip your toes into other things, because that also just makes you grow as a person, getting comfortable with other things that you're not really used to. And it's like, it's always good to be uncomfortable in situations, because like if you always stay uncomfortable, then you're getting to the point where you're okay with being uncomfortable, because you're okay with doing these things. Always do what you love. Like if you have a passion for, like, it could be like songwriting or making songs, like little things like that, I would say just get into it just because.
Facts, just because you can.
Right.
Yeah, I would say like dip my toe in everything. I want to do a little bit of everything, and I just want to make sure I have a variety to whatever type of brand I'm trying to push out, whether it just be my name, my personal training, just, get my name out there, and, not limit myself either, because like we talked about the other day, like literally life is content. We can go outside and just shoot a day in a life and that be a video. You know what I'm saying? Stepping out of our comfort zone in that area is definitely something I want to, do in the future.
Yeah, one thing that social media nowadays has allowed is, like, networking is like limitless.
Yeah.
Like if you really think about it, you can connect with someone that's on a whole different side of the world than you, and you guys can work on something and create something. To tie it back to the fitness content that you have been putting out, can you walk me through your creative process and how do you come up with your video ideas?
I was just talking with Trent about this. That's one of my boys that I work out with a lot. Like most of my ideas, they're not really well thought out. I'll be completely honest. Like there's been a lot of times where I'll walk into the gym and I'll come up with an idea, or I'm on the way to the gym and I'll come up with an idea. And what's also been helping me is like, some of the mic'd up videos that I'll do with Marcus and sometimes KJ and Leon. It brings like a little bit of a variety and easier to teach in a way, because I like to bring informational content to my page. So that kind of gives me ideas on the fly. So it's a lot easier to come up with ideas when I have, like-minded people, or I just have a dead brain and I'm just thinking about, okay, what should I record today? Because I feel like nowadays everybody knows how to work out. Like there's the fitness industry is oversaturated, so you kind of have to put your own spin onto things. So I don't really like to be super dry when it comes to like, full workout videos. I'll kind of go into depth on how to do a certain thing, and that's really been what's been working for me.
Speaking on that, how do you know and keep the perfect balance between like information and like entertainment in your videos?
So like I said, the mic'd ups have been a game changer. I mean, mic'd ups have been around for I don't know how long, but I figured, me and the guys are pretty funny in the gym. We enjoy the gym. We enjoy our company. So it's been really easy to promote fitness and promote working out, as well as keeping the audience engaged and entertained.
So when you get these ideas to make a video or an idea of what, like a workout you want to base your video off of, is that something that you're writing down and planning beforehand, or are you and your friends just like, yo, we're working out, you want to film this video, I got this idea?
Yeah, so in the beginning, when I was doing it all on my own, I was definitely writing out ideas. I still have that notepad to this day. Just a bunch of ideas, just trying to, brainstorm a couple things. But now it's like, okay, I need to film this video tomorrow. Or I have like a whiteboard. I have like a little schedule of what I want to do. Try to plan out like days I do want to record, because like, it does get boring and kind of tiresome when every time I'm in the gym, I have to record.
Yeah.
And, that's something that I've, kind of found a balance with, because that was kind of like one of my goals this year, is try to find a balance between, working out and, doing this as my job.
Yeah.
So there's like 2 or 3 days out of the week where I just don't bring my tripod in. I just get my workout on, because that's what I enjoy doing from the jump. You know what I'm saying? So like in the beginning, I did write down ideas, but now it's kind of like nonchalant planned out rather than, actually taking the time to sit down and plan ideas, because I feel like that kind of takes away like the fun of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, okay, now I gotta sit down and write ideas. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of like where I've been at as far as planning out my videos.
No, that's actually really fire, because that's something you don't see in everybody, is because if you're doing it in that case, it really shows that you have passion for the work and you actually like just want to be being yourself and you don't want to pressure on yourself.
Right.
And a lot of people lack with that self-awareness, really.
And I just don't want to force content either, because I feel like when it starts being forced, I'm not really giving the audience my authentic self.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I get that 100%. On the days that you're lacking that motivation to like get through your workout, get through your work, get through that video that you have to make, what are like tactics that you use beforehand or after to kind of keep that motivation? If not keep that motivation, keep you in motion?
Well, I was just telling Marcus this, like whenever I lose motivation, those days count the most, for sure. Like those days you have to like actually get dialed in and figure out what needs to get done. As far as like, workout, if you don't feel like working out, usually just pray. Like, help me find the motivation to do what I enjoy doing. What about you? How do you keep your motivation? Same thing?
Yeah, also, so there's a quote I read almost every morning: what you do today can improve all your tomorrows. So I always kind of think about that is, yes, sometimes, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that, but all I know is if it's going to better me for tomorrow, I got to do it. I got to do it.
And what you were saying, going back on what you said about on the days that you don't feel motivated to do things, those are the days that matter the most. I feel like those days are really the days that you can put the most effort in changing yourself and most work in changing yourself, because like if you do stuff that you don't want to do but is good for you, then gives you that motivation back. And it's
like he was saying, like being uncomfortable in situations like that, it's gonna make it easier on days you actually do want to do it.
You've already started talking about it. How did you come across your religion, and how did you find that religion to kind of rely on that in times of stress?
I grew up in a Christian household, going to church every Sunday, that being the center of life and being influenced by that, by my parents, which I'm very appreciative for. Like any other person that, is growing up, they kind of fall out of the relationship and fall into things of the world. And it's definitely rekindling my relationship with Christ has probably been the biggest move that I made in my recent life, and has helped me make a lot of, decisions in my life as well. And so like I literally take every situation, every problem up to him, and, You know, it's definitely helped me being in a Christian household, because I know like a lot of people, they'll come to me and they'll ask me, oh, it's like so hard because I didn't grow up around it, which is, that's fair. But once you really dive deep and, you know, read his word and realize that everlasting love that he gives us, comes easier and easier.
Yeah, and with religion is something, it's something that only you can seek out for.
Yeah.
So like it's like, yes, maybe that's a good excuse on why you didn't start sooner. What about you? When did you find your religion and actually get into it?
My grandpa and my grandparents were always, my grandma would always tell me to pray before you go to bed. And so I've kind of always been around it. When I was younger, my dad would take us to go, but he was never really, I guess, strict on it, or he was never hard on it. And I guess it's because of, you know, free will. So like sometimes we would go and sometimes we wouldn't. Now that I'm a little older, yes, I find myself into it more because of just when you're growing up as a teenager and growing to being a young adult, you start in a way losing yourself because you don't know who you want to be yet.
That is a really like good personality trait to have, is to low-key want to be motivating and be there for people when they're down, but also to open up their perspective of something that they really don't understand. Like people don't grow up in the same situation, but in today's society, like you can go on social media and look out on different perspectives that people aren't raised in Christian households. So
Exactly.
really you can go on YouTube and find everything you need to know if you were.
And
so
it's like he said, it's really good to have that trait, especially a man of God, because, you know, on sometimes when you can't find the right words to say to someone or like to bring them up, just go to God about it and he'll give you the answers for sure.
and it might not be what you were expecting, but it would put you on a path where you need it to be, and it would probably be better than you could even imagine. So if you feel burnt out creatively or physically, how do you go about recovering and refreshing?
Like in the past couple of months, I tried to pick up like new hobbies. Like I started playing golf a lot, but golf is like so expensive, bro. It's so expensive. I joined a new group at my church that takes up a lot of my time. Recovery wise, like when I feel like overwhelmed, dude, rot days are probably the best days to have. Like just doing nothing and being lazy, it's very crucial to like just have like a relaxed day. As far as like recovery from the gym, I try to do ice baths, but I don't really have like the conveniency to like get an ice bath every day. Yeah, like just being lazy, bro. Like I feel like those days are so important, especially when your mind is always on the go. Having like a couple of those lazy days a month is definitely something I use for like recovery, so to speak.
Yeah. I know you talk about praying a lot when you're feeling stressed and stuff, but do you do a form of meditation too? Like just sitting and just being in your head? Because I know meditation is a form and used a lot. Like the monks believe that meditation leads you to your religion, because you're actually ending up talking to your head and Christ himself, because some people pray in their head and some people pray out loud, but no matter what, Christ is going to hear it. So do you like meditate on yourself, or do you count that as like your praying time?
Like I said, in my mornings, I like to, go outside, get acclimated, touch grass. On times that I do feel kind of overwhelmed and I just need to like step away for a minute, we'll take a walk, be outside with no phone. That's probably like my form of meditation.
What time of day do you guys normally start turning off your phone and disconnecting from like the social media and work on your phone, and actually just kind of take the time to wind down before you go to sleep? Or do you do that at all?
Yeah, I do. Usually I try to. I'm just starting now to get into it. Is off the wake up, I don't want to be on my phone, scrolling on social media, or just being on my phone in general. I kind of just want to have that morning to myself. That's how I start my day, is where I could really get ready for the day. Is where I don't have, like, if I look on social media, it's something negative, because I don't want to start my day off on something that I read and it's something bad. So that's why I just kind of stay in a positive mindset in the morning, and then before I go to bed, I try to stay off like about 30 minutes to an hour before I go to sleep. Get ready for sleep and let my mind be at ease.
Yeah, that's fire.
I'm the same way. Like off the wake up, I don't like reaching for my phone and scrolling on Instagram. Like an hour or two off the wake up, I try to stay off my phone. When I come home from work, it's usually like a good hour and a half that I set my phone down. All right, I need to like turn this off. I need to stop like worrying about notifications, this and that. Yes, like an hour and a half. And I'm usually just on my MacBook. Like I kind of force myself, like when I get home, I'll fiddle around like, editing videos, but then I'll start winding down. Like I'll read a couple verses in the Bible just to kind of clear my mind before I go to sleep. That's another thing too. Like you got to have like some sort of time between when you're going to sleep and putting down like your
Screen
phone,
time, yeah.
your screen time, because like your mind is constantly racing and constantly accumulating all that information on your phone. It's good to just like, sit back, relax. Even if you throw on like a little TV show, it's better than scrolling on social media.
That time to like settle down. Everyone's like so different with when they have their like workflow and work inspiration. For me, like I get really inspired at night, so I use that time to plan out my next day. Like after I put my phone down, bro, I focus on writing everything out, so I'm not necessarily ahead but kind of ahead for the next day,
And kind of like
so
prepared.
to make it easier for me, so I can have that morning where I'm not stressed out, I'm just like relaxed and able to do my own stuff.
That was like one of my New Year's resolutions, was to limit my screen time, because bro, like my screen time was OD, like 6+ hours on my phone. That's 6 hours of me like staring at my screen, bro, and I can use that way better, you know what I'm saying? So like it's been a challenge, but I kind of keep it under like 4.5, because my work is off my phone, so I kind of like justify it as that. If I'm over a certain time limit on like TikTok or Instagram, like okay, I'm just using it for my own entertainment. I need to get away from it. I do encourage everyone to like try to limit their screen time. Could just be like present in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Because like we get so used to just staring at the screen.
Social media is so crazy. Our generation is just so blinded by the fact of how much time we are spending on that. Like I've been trying to narrow down my screen time forever, and it's really hard when you are in the industry and you're trying to post on content. I went through like the Apple settings and I set up like the
little timer,
thing, and I give myself like 30 minutes.
Especially when you have a timer too.
Yeah,
you kind of use that productively.
You're
so
like,
if I need to go on Instagram to edit a couple videos or post a couple videos, let me use that time certain like specific to the day.
Social media is just a trap in general. Like, so when you give yourself time away from like social media, you end up enjoying the smaller things and you feel like more like in the moment, versus like on social media you don't even realize how much energy you're giving into it. And also all you're doing is like, even without you noticing it, us as humans, we just like to kind of compare to people. So like if someone's putting out the same kind of content as you, you're like, damn, that video is way better than mine.
And I fall victim to that so much, bro.
I would necessarily say use it more of a tool instead of a pleasure. Use it to promote something. Everything is really at your use, but how are you going to use it?
Like before, like social media was like really popping. Dead space or like awkward moments, we would just like kind of talk through it. But now when there's dead space or you guys don't have, like say you're like at a party, and when there's dead space or nothing really to do, people are just on their phones. They're not in the moment, you know what I'm saying? Social media has that hook on everyone because it kind of like triggers this dopamine in our mind where we just end the scroll. Just end the scroll.
And the thing with social media is it goes off of the trending page and stuff like that, so you really don't have control over what you're consuming. Versus if you had a minute of your time and you didn't have social media, maybe you'll pick up a book or pick up the Bible and like learn something else and know what you're putting your time and using your energy for.
And the way social media tricks you too, their algorithm now, so they know exactly what you're interested in, because what you like, what you see, you know what I'm saying, what you share. So they're going to constantly give you those videos that you enjoy.
Nick, I have a question for you if you're able to answer. It's just more about on your content, is that when you're pushing videos out or podcasts out and you don't see the views or likes that you expect or that you see, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I could do better, but how does that not discourage you?
Your YouTube channel, your Instagram page, like your social media pages, I feel like if you're looking at being in this industry of having that as your business, you need to look at your channels as a portfolio. So me putting that stuff out, maybe that video is not going to blow up at that time, but say in a year from now, say in a month from now, say if I keep posting these videos and one of them blow up, those people that are entertained by it, they can just go scroll down and see all this work I've already done and see my work. Videos don't just benefit off of the views. So not only are you adding to your portfolio, these videos, like simple little things people can enjoy and it will benefit you in a way. Everything's benefiting you in a way, even if you can't see it. What you can do though, the only thing that you're in control of is making sure you're taking care of yourself and keeping yourself from burning out and then keeping a good balance between the work and the life balance.
What I've really tried to like dial in and really focus on is I can't look at someone else's plate and want what they have, because everyone's success is different. And so me appreciating the small W's has really, led me to, enjoy the process even more. And like that's a really good perspective to look at it as like a portfolio, because when I do blow up, or in the future, if I do get someone that approaches me, they can be like, oh, like this is where he came from, like he's not new to this, you know what I'm saying? So it does make me appreciate it a lot more, for sure.
I took off to France, they go crazy when I land. Before I hit the stage, I need the bands in my hands.